Hey guys, quick public service announcement. These are pre-recorded episodes that we did in the past. That's right. Sometimes people record things and they hold on to them for a while to where it kind of works out. But at this time, we were going by a different podcast name. So you're going to hear us call the podcast something different as well as give different social medias. What you need to know is our social medias are listed in the description. It's
twitter.com/apilotpodcast, instagram.com/apilotpodcast, and follow us on all social medias.
That is totally not a pre-recorded soundbite. I swear Cody or whoever or CL Blue or whatever just said that. Anyway, if you guys need to skip ahead in the video, there are timestamps available. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. This isn't a podcast we usually do. It's a different podcast, but now you're listening to this podcast.
Hello. What's up?
I'm so nervous.
Why?
I'm not actually nervous. This is the thing I do.
Are you taking my anxiety on and then just being like, cool?
I'm just feeling it entirely like, oh, he's anxious about this. We're going to talk about TV shows and whatnot.
Yeah. Welcome to Test Pilot.
If you want to go. Explain what.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Franny, if you want to.
I'll go home. Hi. Welcome to Test Pilot, the show where Logan and I review two separate pilots of two separate TV shows. I am Franny. Yes.
And I'm Logan. Yeah, the concept is we wanted to do something separate from Crosscut Cinema. Just kind of like our own thing.
Yeah.
And now we decided since they do movies, we'll do TV over here. And there's so many crazy shows.
And I fucking love TV. I'm a huge consumer of television.
Yeah. I thought you were going to end with huge consumer and you were talking about me, but it's fine. I'm a huge consumer.
Shut up.
Of food.
Shut up.
But no, the show... there's so many TV shows out there that had like great pilots or like so many crazy shows that only got the pilot made.
Or things that they 100% change after the pilot too.
Mm-hmm. So I thought it'd be interesting. So today's pilots we're tackling are Pokemon, otherwise known as Pokemon Indigo League. And we're also going to tackle Glee. And we have a guest, Mr. CL Blue.
Boop, boop.
Howdy.
Wouldn't it be weird if I said your real name and then like... You're like essentially outing yourself as your real person. We have to be so careful not to like say his actual name.
That is my real name. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll just call you C.
But anyway, we're gonna link to his YouTube channel, and some of his music is really really great. So if you guys liked listening to him talk, you might like listening to him sing and stuff.
I know I do.
Oh, thanks. That's really sweet.
They like come over from the podcast. Like we hated the podcast, now we hate you too.
And if you're coming over here from Crosscut Cinema Podcast, we are here to dispel the rumor that Logan is CL Blue.
Oh yeah, there was that rumor going. Well, how do you know? I'm just really good at throwing my voice.
Maybe. I hated that.
No, we're different people. He's very talented and I'm not.
He uses a voice modulator. It's all him.
It's all him. He's Hannah Montana.
That's a different pilot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that could be great.
Gasp.
So we just refreshed ourselves on the Glee pilot. What did you guys think?
I think it's one of the best pilots ever.
Just straight up ever?
No, I really love it. I love how fast and like snappy it is. It really like sets you up for how the show is going to play out. Although they do change some things from the pilot, but I feel like it focuses on every character.
Could you name some of those changes?
Yeah, Rachel's dads.
They had a joke about like not knowing who her father is, and is like clearly like the most Jewish Ashkenazi looking man with a black man. It's like I wonder who her dad is.
Right.
One of these things is not like the other.
And then Jeff Goldblum, I assume, devoured both of them and took over her fatherhood. I don't really know what happened, but all of a sudden later he's the father.
Wow, I forgot that Jeff Goldblum plays the father.
Mm-hmm.
And he like
That's
doesn't
insane.
come back in season 6. They have to be like, oh, they got divorced, guys.
Oh.
Yeah, because they like can't figure out how to get Goldblum back in their studios.
I mean, I get it. Season 6 sucked.
Sorry to a guy I know who was on season 6. Well, I don't really. You know what? You might still hear this. Sorry to you. You know who you are. I don't want to out you either because I think that you were the best, but also like in the worst season, so it doesn't really matter.
Or I'm just sorry in general.
Yeah, I'm just sorry things went that way for you in general. But no, I mean I think the show it's like one of the better pilots you'll see for a show that really didn't turn out to be that great later on.
Well, I think the show has very strong seasons. I think the show's good up until a point. I think the show is good up until fucking Ryan Murphy has to write new characters.
Well, he's writing new characters the whole time. There's always new people.
No, has to write an entirely new cast, pretty much. When they do the...
I don't really think he did that either. Would you say that he did that? He added like 3-4 people?
I'm saying I didn't like the second round of kids.
I quite liked those kids.
Really?
Well, okay. So I think they were definitely like, we're going to get some solid actors this time.
I think the issue is that they went too good looking. What made the Glee...
That is a good point.
But what made the Glee show believable is there was a bunch of fucking dwarves, you know? Like a bunch... You know what I mean? Like...
Mixed in with regular looking people. We were just all watching it together and... we were talking about how to make Leah Michelle ugly. They just middle parted her hair and put her in a fucking children's sweater.
And that's basically what they did with Emma Watson and Harry Potter. They were like a nice wool knit sweater. And we're going to crimp her hair. And she's bossy, guys. She's unattractive.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm just like Hermione. When Guardian Leviosa.
Oh, gosh.
She's 11. I'm out.
she wasn't even 11 when she was playing 13. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't even 13 then. She was probably like 16 already.
Your mind.
Wow. So the pilot of Glee actually premiered after the finale of American Idol in 2009.
Who was the winner of American Idol in 2009? I feel like it's the guy
David Allen. That's a guess.
No, it's Chris Allen.
Oh, is that right?
David Allen is not a real person. Well, it probably is. Sorry, David, if you're out there, but
I don't know.
I think it's Chris.
Chris Allen.
Oh, I was close.
Where Adam Lambert should have won, but America wasn't ready to be gay yet.
Chris Crocker. Was that
Chris Crocker? David Crocker.
David Crocker. You know, just names.
Davy Crockett.
They actually dropped the pilot and then the show didn't get picked up for 4 months.
That explains why it came back so different.
Yeah, that does explain that.
I wonder do you think they had only the pilot shot?
I don't know.
Because the thing is, for the first 3 episodes, it's the same feel, and then after that, it just goes away. After Acafellas, it changes forever.
That's an hour I'll never get back.
How do you feel like it changed?
The whole design of the show, the cinematography, the music that they all that shit went away.
And they kind of stopped doing background music too.
That's what we just talked about.
Well, you said okay.
You can also tell that the network was like, you know what would make this show really great if you did top 40 songs instead of Broadway?
I think that's what happened is the show that was actually my guess is that I think the studios, they saw how good, I mean, wasn't Don't Stop Believin' the #1 single of the year?
Forever.
And it was the Glee version.
Yeah.
They were like, well, if we put 5 songs on every episode. No, seriously, isn't that the amount? Like 5 song minimum?
Yeah, I feel like when they don't know how to pad the space, they throw in even more.
I don't think it's about padding. I think they are so desperate to try to make it work around several songs.
Yeah. It does kind of feel like they jam them all in sometimes.
It also gives them clout because you're like, oh my gosh, there's a Beyonce song.
Yeah, it's Madonna week, you know, like, and they're sitting there singing fucking Do You Know What It's Like in This World for Girls with an all male rendition.
I love
because to be a girl is to be degrading. Do you know?
Another thing, like Logan and I just recently kind of rewatched the series, and
no, we didn't. We did not rewatch that. Didn't we get through almost season 3?
I was gonna say we didn't rewatch the whole series, but we started. Okay. And one thing we were talking about is like the tonal shifts in the show and how they really don't know what tone to go for. Like they'll go from talking about like guys, Karofsky tried to kill himself today. Yeah.
Man, I sure don't like to sing Funky Shoes, you know?
Right.
Like they literally go from that end to the other
Or
end.
like that one.
You're never
character-
gonna walk again, Artie. Mercedes.
Unless it's Christmas.
Mercedes Kurt's gay. That's the fucking bullshit.
Or
that's
Xyces, how they made.
I love Xyces.
I know,
She's
but
the
like
best.
how they went from having Xyces just be this character that was like helping for like chocolate, like helping Puck with something for chocolate, to being somebody that's gonna make a sex tape with Puck.
It was not Puck. She was helping someone else. She was helping Bug the choir room.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember who she helped. Probably Rachel is my guess.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I really enjoyed that Valentine's Day episode because she's like, you know what? I'm worth more than chocolate. I'm worth like double chocolate. Like,
Fuck yeah, she is.
And he sang fucking Fat Bottom Girls to her, and she was just mortified.
Yeah,
And
that was
then he
bad.
sang Big Ass Heart, and for some reason she liked that
My
one.
girl's got a big ass heart.
Needs her own shopping cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's fucked up. He's dead now too.
And another thing we're talking about too was all like the Ryan Murphy like guesses that happened.
Talking about the Glee curse.
Yeah, the Glee curse.
Now this is something
That's a
that
good
Cody
one.
can sink his teeth into.
oh God.
He's been so excited to talk about this part of it.
Okay, so I don't want to say like anything because that's their lives. Like,
It was.
I'm sorry. but
Oof.
It was their
it's,
lives.
It's definitely a thing.
Yeah, right?
It's a thing,
It totally is a thing.
especially after Naya Rivera. Like,
Yeah.
she passed away, and it was the same day as Corey Monteith when
Yep.
she was found. I don't know if it's Illuminati.
Wait, it
I
was
don't-
the same day?
It was the same day.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also, there's all this stuff about Amber Riley dealing with food stuff, and it turns out she had an eating disorder after the show.
I
Yeah.
did not know that. That's
And then
amazing.
also I know the whole Naya Rivera thing, like she sings like the like If I Die Young song.
Yeah, 100%.
And then like she died at sea, which was another thing that people
The
pointed
river,
out.
not at sea. I'm sorry, but it just made you sound like a pirate.
She drowned, did she not?
Yeah, but not at sea.
Okay, sorry.
There's a difference. I'm just saying. I want to paint an accurate picture.
All right.
And then Corey Monteith's father dying of a heroin overdose, and then he dies of a heroin overdose.
yeah.
And he says the whole time he doesn't want to end up like his dad.
Yeah. And then when like Xyces and Puck were doing that sex tape.
Oh,
and
and
they
he was
found out
also discharged like Corey Monteith was too. His father was discharged.
Corey Monteith was discharged.
Yeah, no, not his. In the character, the Finn. Finn's father was discharged. And
Oh,
he got
yeah.
addicted to heroin in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And died.
Yeah, I
And,
remember
and
that.
Finn Hudson was discharged. Tried to work with this school stuff. Got into school, fell under stress, and then also died from heroin overdose.
Wow. Yeah, and like Puck's character, like they had that whole like
Whole child pornography
Yeah,
bit. Yeah.
yeah. and then oof.
I want to hang out with the girls whose boobs hasn't fully grown yet. And then he went and was a
Oh
child
yeah, no,
molester.
he has dibs on the girls whose boobs aren't fully grown yet was the line.
He also on the show dated, I think her name was Kitty.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
a 15-year-old.
And she's like 16, 15
Mhm.
exactly. And,
And he's like 19, 20.
I love comedy. You know?
Oof. That just plays into the whole tonal discrepancies throughout the show.
Yeah, the show doesn't know what kind of show it wants to be.
No, it doesn't.
100%. It felt very Power Rangers. It was like, what's going to be the topic this week?
They went from
Yeah.
school shooting to attempted suicide to Saturday Night Fever week.
My mom buy boogie shoes.
Yeah, my mama. No, but for real though. Or there was like they do like a what was it? They went in like to nationals, and it was after Corey Monteith's character died, and then they just fucking lose, and they lose the whole club, and it's over. That's the way
God.
the show goes.
Yeah. Oof.
He lost singing Corey's songs, like Finn's songs. They lost.
Yep.
Then they go home, their Glee club's gone. And they actually send the kids to different schools in order to make sure that they don't ever perform in a new club.
Wow.
That is the fucking show. All backdrop to Alanis Morissette playing the whole time.
I also quite like the fact that season 6, the whole premise is that Rachel has a failed career. Look what's happening now. It's like,
The
oh,
Glee curse is real.
it's too bad for you.
Right. Oof.
Yeah.
And then when the show kind of tried to become friends when they were all in college.
Oh, I know.
What did they had like a dream sequence.
Chums.
That was what it was called.
I forgot about
And
that.
Tina was Rachel, I think.
Yeah.
I would watch that show. I'd watch that before Glee.
You'd watch Chums.
Well, all the New York stuff after they left school, it was what the issue with Ryan Murphy, he does this in a lot of his stuff, is he falls in love with certain characters and then he can't write anything else with these characters.
Yeah.
And I think by season 2, especially with Cord Overstreet being like his discovery, he was just obsessed with all those characters and wasn't willing to try to write more. He literally like essentially killed off his new kids because he didn't want to put up with it anymore.
Yeah.
And then when the
That's
show,
why the New Kids just felt so weak to me the whole time.
yeah, and then the 6th season, he tried to like write the course because everybody was like, we liked it better when they were in high school, and then it was so bad they just canceled that shit mid-season.
And then when they did like the whole like trying to wrap it all up in a pretty bow and they're all back at that high school.
Yeah. The Blaine and Kurt are like. By the way, we're not reviewing a pilot right now.
They
We're
all
just
get
reviewing the show.
married.
Forgive us if you. We'll put it a warning on the video. We're just discussing everything because we have too many emotions.
Yeah.
But no, like for instance, like when Blaine and Kurt like they become like the super gays, they go to schools and talk about gay stuff and they play gay piano. Like they literally like I'm just saying, I'm not like an enemy, but their characters they become the super gays.
They do.
Yeah,
They really do.
Really do.
I mean, they're literally we go to schools and we talk about the Trevor Project and play piano. Like that's the gayest thing you could possibly do. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying that was not what the characters were before that episode.
I also hate how they're like, everyone you know in high school, you're going to know for the rest of your life, guys.
Oh God.
They're gonna be your best friends. You're all gonna live together in New York and become famous.
Oh, another thing I need to fucking talk about is Kurt and his goddamn Vogue internship.
Elaborate.
Like when Kurt just like walked in and like got that internship in fucking New York with no experience, nothing.
And Sarah Jessica Parker's there, like, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You work at Vogue now. You
Yeah.
have a fucking hippo brooch. We're
Here
gonna
you
hire you
fucking
right
go.
now.
That's not how Vogue works.
That's not how life works.
I'm sorry, Miranda Priestley. I guess I'll go now.
God.
Everything that happened in the New York part of the show was unbelievably unfucking watchable.
Yeah.
It's weird. I actually liked watching the new kids more than I liked watching the old characters in New York because, like, fuck them. You know, they're all about being losers that overcome, and now they're just like, oh, not only did you get the prizes or get the job as Fanny Bryce, but you're also your best friend is the understudy. Even though she looks nothing like she should and sounds totally different than a Broadway voice, she's the understudy now.
God.
And then Kurt actually has the audacity to be pissed. Like, I didn't get a Broadway show. It's like, bitch, you worked at Vogue. You didn't even go to school and you worked at Vogue, you fucking piece of shit. I hate you.
And if
Now I gotta work at Johnny Rockets and Vogue and go to like this fancy ass school. Like, fuck you, bitch.
And the pilot just does not feel like it would have gone in this direction.
Yeah, the thing is, the
whatsoever.
pilot's kind of great.
The pilot is great.
It's really funny. It's really well written.
It's quippy. It's fun. It's snappy.
It's like you took Superbad and High School Musical and mixed them together.
100%. I could totally see that.
Yeah,
and if they would have just contained it within the school and let it die after that, it would have.
I don't even think it's that. It's that they had this great way of introducing all these characters.
Yeah.
But what you kind of realize, especially later on, is that he doesn't know how to keep doing that. He literally repeats the way they found the Finn character with the Sam. I mean, he literally does the same thing.
Yeah.
So clearly he was out of ideas. And then with the guy, the guy that I maybe have met or no, possibly, fuck it. You guys know who I'm talking about. The Roderick character is found almost the same way, where they're all listening through vents in the school and running around the entire school to find him singing in the library.
Mrs. Burnett would have kicked me out.
Yeah, you're just like, candle in the window on a coat. Like, you're just sitting in the library just singing away. And she's like, get the fuck out of here.
No, sir. You're gone.
None of this.
You are not going to be in the Glee Club. I'm sorry. You're going to ironically...
Did you guys have a Glee Club or was it a show choir?
It was regular choir that one year they decided, we're going to do Glee, guys. Okay? Like, we're going to do Glee.
What does that mean?
It means they're going to do Glee songs. They're going to give the like girl, quote unquote, who can dance in senior year choreography rights.
Oh no, how bad was it?
Terrible.
Oh God.
It was terrible. So she would there was no great intersection of how we would get places. So we would all be like smacking into each other. It was like sardines in a can. And then you'd like pose and you're like, we meant to do this.
It's live sardines in a can.
That was our choir name. How did you know?
Live sardines in a can. I was in a show choir thing. It was like I don't know. They called it something else. Do you remember what they called that choir? Swing choir? Show choir? Something like that.
I think you were in show choir.
No, there was like a name for it though.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't in
Anyway,
it.
I could sing kind of, but I'm not a very good singer. But what I could do, and that the other people couldn't do because they were all from Kentucky, was
Eat.
beatbox. And eat. Hell yeah. But I could beatbox, and I got the beatbox with Kenny Rogers. A little flex for you. But
you should tell us about that story.
there was a Christmas concert, and our choir got picked to be with Kenny Rogers, and he heard me beatboxing backstage. And then he asked if I could beatbox with him.
Wow. Was that your Corey Monteith and Mr. Shoe moment? Like he heard you beatboxing?
No, he didn't plant marijuana on me. But his daughter did call him Voldemort and me Hagrid. Or his like niece or whatever it was.
That was more of his Corey Monteith Tupperware moment.
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Fun fact, the character of Finn, played by Corey Monteith, R.I.P., got the job not because of singing like he was supposed to. He sent a video of him drumming on Tupperware. Got the job. He sent the video in late, by the way. So he got the job that he had to start shooting for the next day, like start doing principal photography for the next day. So he had to drive from Vancouver to, I think it was Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how you do it, kids. Just ignore what the people who are trying to give you the job ask you to do and just get some Tupperware and slam on it and you'll get the job.
Basically, if there's a call sheet, throw it out.
Throw it out. They're asking for something specific. You give them what you want to give them.
Exactly. You're an individual.
I love it. I feel like we should rate the pilot separately and then say if it makes you want to watch the show.
Yeah. I agree. But are we finished talking about all of it though? Is that really all there is to say about this pilot?
Are you really done with this moment in culture?
Yeah. I do want to talk a little bit about some of the characters.
We totally can.
So like
I
all
wasn't
this
sure if we
side
talked it into
characters.
the ground yet.
I think the show
We
did
haven't.
that itself.
Yeah. A lot of great side characters that throw away after season 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have Ken. You have what's the wife's name again?
Terry.
Terry. You have Terry, Howard, and Sandy, all of which are fucking hilarious characters.
Yeah.
All of which are all but forgotten about later.
Yeah.
Are they even after season 2?
Yeah, there's a moment where Sandy comes back in season 3 and he
And then Terry comes
is
back
mean.
as Honey Badger.
Yeah, they actually all come back.
That episode.
They all come back to destroy the Glee Club at
Yeah.
one point. Yeah.
I guess I blocked that out of my brain.
Yeah. At one point, he calls himself Lady Pink, and he gets a bunch of hagglers to show up to their talent show and haggle them.
All ran by.
But then Mercedes
Coach Sylvester.
sings "Listen" by Beyonce, I believe, from Dreamgirls, or maybe somewhere else. I don't remember. But he sings one of these songs, and Sandy loves it so much he actually donates his weed money to get the kids to go to nationals.
It wasn't Beyonce. It was like Aretha Franklin.
It might have been Aretha.
music.
Yeah, you're probably right. Can't remember what song though.
Me either.
I don't even remember this. I don't.
Don't remember at all.
I feel like you end up blacking out some of Glee.
So
Is this the
Zaises
Night of
becomes her
Neglect
manager.
episode?
Night of Neglect, isn't that it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Night of
Okay.
Neglect.
The only thing I remember that is Tina singing "I Follow Rivers" and getting booed off.
Yes.
And I was being like, I was into it, guys. Like,
Right?
I follow.
But yeah, and then let's talk about the Kurt character a little bit, because especially in this pilot, he doesn't really get any notice, but definitely becomes a bigger part of the show and as a total fan favorite. People loved Chris Colfer as Kurt. The character was created because he had tried out for the role of Artie, and they didn't think he fit the bill, so they wrote, which just shocks me, there was no gay character in Glee Club before they wrote this character. They wrote.
Yeah, that's insane.
If you've ever been in a choir, you're lucky if there's lucky. That's a weird way to put it. You're shocked. I don't know about lucky. I'm not like trying to avoid gays or anything, but if so, I'm doing a terrible job with all these podcasts. But you'd be shocked if there was like even 2 straight guys in your choir.
Yeah. I think
So the idea that it's all straight people except for Kurt and then eventually Santana is not believable, even in the slightest.
oh yeah, everyone in show choir is either gay or a Christian girl. Like there's
And usually one leads to the other. Depending on what kind of camp you send them to.
God.
did you know that he got the part because he sang Mr. Cellophane, and he sings that in the pilot?
Yes, Mr.
He
Cellophane.
was expecting to go in there and get the job of the kid in the wheelchair with Mr. Cellophane.
And the kid on the call list was supposed to be soulful R&B like. And he sang, Mr. Cellophane, should have in my name.
So really, the people that got successful on the show ignored the call sheet.
Exactly. So
And
if
did
you
what
want to be
they wanted.
successful and work with Ryan Murphy, ignore what he asks you to do.
Exactly.
It definitely
Make him fall in love with you.
it worked out for Emma Roberts. She missed out on Harley Quinn to be on Scream Queen. So clearly you should always listen to Ryan Murphy.
No, you shouldn't. She should have not done that. She really shouldn't have.
You really should not have.
And then we were just watching Hollywood, and Corey Monteith had a clear
Yeah, he was supposed to.
character on that,
The show was written while Corey Monteith was alive. He was supposed to play the character of Rock Hudson because he actually looks like a real life Rock Hudson, Ryan Murphy thought.
That's why his name is Finn Hudson, right?
Yes,
in the show?
exactly. That's why the character's name was changed from Finn whatever to Finn Hudson.
Finn whatever, that's a great last name.
Yeah, whatever it was. But clearly, like, especially when you watch Hollywood, you see how much the guy they got looks like Corey Monteith, and you're like, yeah, this was supposed to be Corey Monteith. But I don't know.
It's sad.
I need to know, what is your favorite moment in the Glee pilot? Because mine is clearly, don't you just love a good monkey?
Yes.
Don't You Love a Good Monkey is really good. There's nothing ironic about show choir. That's a great line.
My favorite part is when they're singing the Grease song, and
Because I need a man. That one?
yeah.
Okay.
And
The
they're
only
like,
Grease song in it? Okay, got it.
yeah. And Lea Michelle's character just physically assaults Finn, just comes up and grabs him and starts dancing with him.
Can we pause real fast?
Yeah.
Pause it.
So I just realized
We were trying to take a pregnant pause.
we did take a pregnant pause. I'm looking at the fucking audio.
Do you understand that 3 seconds is going to come by as quickly as you started talking? 3 seconds is not a pregnant pause. It sounded like we went, and we're back.
Sorry.
It's got to be at least 5 seconds, if not 10 seconds.
I can pull the little stretchy.
Now we're already here. We're already here, and you're going to make me look wrong, so I'm not doing that.
I feel bad for whoever's mixing this. You.
Us.
Anyways,
Mainly me.
we never talked about what actually happened in the pilot.
So basically, 30-something Will Schuester wants to relive his childhood dream of being a Glee star through young adolescents that he cons into joining his club.
All of which look 2 years younger than he is.
It's crazy.
One of which
It's crazy.
off screen dated him weeks prior.
Yeah, can we talk about that?
About
What
old-
is that dynamic? Because didn't they have an episode where there was like a romance where she was like, she sang Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's saying, don't stand
So close to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was really problematic. You know, the character. Well, let's get through this, and I'll talk about the problematic history of the character of Will Schuester. So anyway, what happened in this pilot?
So basically, he's doing everything he can to make this Glee club work. He finds young Studley Finn Hudson in the showers. And the rest is history.
It's your classic characters, misfits, all like.
Yeah.
It's High School Musical with Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's High School Musical with cognac.
They pretty
go.
much they introduce this school, they introduce this teacher, and then they find so the school, the director of the Glee club, this character Rachel gets him fired for molesting a child, which he did not do, and then
Well, we don't know for sure, but
Allegedly molested a child.
we don't know. They kind of leave it up in the air. But so the Glee Club director is open, and this character Will Schuester was the king of his own Glee Club, and his marriage is falling apart. His life just kind of sucks, so he takes over the Glee Club, and it's a band of fucking misfits at first.
Mm-hmm. I just want to say that I'm always forever upset that they cut out Artie's audition. He sang "Genuine" by Pony.
What?
Just kidding. It's the other way around. Pony by Genuine.
Oh.
Wow, they really should have kept that in.
Yeah. My pony. Yeah.
Wow.
It's on the internet. You can watch that video.
Is it like a deleted scene?
Yeah, and it's actually recorded Pony.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the studio recorded Pony. So.
I love that they have him riding a pony when he's...
No, he's not. He's not riding a pony.
I know.
He's riding his forever steel pony.
Oh God.
But yeah. So basically, character Will Schuester starts a Glee Club. His wife thinks that she's pregnant. He's ready to quit it, but then all of a sudden he decided that music is better than stability. When he hears them perform Journey's "Don't Stop Believin'" to an annoying result being that you will never ever unhear that cover. It played through a whole decade. And they also redo it on the show like 4,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You
like,
got the Journey rights. You need to abuse those.
I really like listening to Logan whenever he wants to make me happy in the car. He'll put on the like just Glee soundtracks, like Glee covers, and there's
I want to listen to the real song. The way we compromise is by playing the Glee version.
Okay, tell me one Glee song you think is better as a Glee song.
I think they're all amazing.
Bitches Back mixed with that one "Dress You Up in My Love" song is better than the Bitches Back by Elton John.
You know, Will Schuster's version of the thong song.
No, there's no. We're not getting canceled. No. Nope, that's not true. That's bad. I also think "I Feel Pretty" and "Unpretty" was a cool matchup too.
That's a great one.
Yeah,
that's a great one. I
Wow.
think my favorite is Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah,
"Forget You."
Oh, you think the "Forget You" is better than
I don't.
the CeeLo one?
I think I like Gwyneth Paltrow, but
I like CeeLo's version a lot better.
when Gwyneth Paltrow sings that one song, when like they're doing the tango.
Oh, you talking about Kiss?
Kiss. The tango
Yes,
version.
that
Okay.
version is better than the real one.
No.
No.
It's good, but no.
No. You do not invoke Prince in such a way. People will come for you. I don't know. I'd say, yeah, the Bitches Back and Dress You Up, that remix was really great.
What about the Glee
And-
original songs?
My cup, saying what's up.
And then
I really just love Big Ass Heart.
you love Run Joey Run.
Run, Joey. I just love that episode. I love Rachel, but I also hate her, and she's really just a cunt in this episode.
However, I will go down and say that she did one of the best songs on that show, which was, I think, season 1, episode 6.
Wow, he's educated on the fact.
And it was,
We'll just have a Glee
I did some
podcast.
research,
Yes.
and it was Walking on Sunshine Halo.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
great one.
But
She's annoying as crap. Like, there is no doubt.
there's the other mashup, and that was Confessions and It's My Life. That was a pretty cool mashup too. They were all on Ritalin, right?
We should have reviewed that episode.
We could review more episodes. No one's stopping us from. This is our podcast. We can say whatever the fuck we
Yeah.
want. Except for we can't sing copyrighted music, but that's fine. We're doing it anyway. We've been doing it this whole
I was
time.
like, that's this whole podcast. Is my cup copyrighted, do you think? Oh, no.
Saying what's up.
But I bet it is, by the way. Ryan Murphy's a fucking
Oh, and her hair tie song or whatever.
headband.
Headband.
My headband.
What about Only Child?
I feel that one.
She sings something about like one egg or something like
Yeah.
that. Is that it?
God, yeah. Ooh. One of my other favorites is Idina Menzel and her singing Poker Face, their rendition of it.
I remember that was so big when it came out.
Yeah, I really like that
They
one.
do look a lot alike. So it does make sense.
They cast
Yeah.
that well.
But you know what's so funny is they compete. They used to compete for jobs constantly.
It's funny because like
imagine them like they hate each other so much they're in each other's presence. Like, hi mom.
Hi, Mom.
you know, I kind of feel like that translates to the show though, because I feel like when they're singing, they're almost competing with each other every single time.
That's why Poker Face was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a part where I think Idina's like mad that she's young, and she's like, "You're so lucky. I'm old."
And in reality, they're like 10 years apart, and that's it.
They could date just like her and Mr. Schuster.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
God.
You know it chaps Lee's ass that she got that she got the Frozen movie.
Oh yeah.
And then because that was something that Lee was up for, and then for her to go and have to do Let It Go on Glee. Like, bitch, you gotta let it go. You didn't get that job, bitch.
Didn't Leah Michelle hate when they did like the Fox song and stuff?
Yeah, no, she
I think
said
everyone hated
she
that.
said she was mad about the Fox song, and that she said that the Gangnam Style was the worst one they ever had to perform.
And I love that they had the Asian girl sing most of it. They were like, "Tina, it's your turn. Here's your plot line."
Of the wrong Asian.
Of the wrong Asian descent. They're like, Gangnam Style.
Yeah. Oopum Gangnam Style. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of interesting music choices, and like for instance, there was an episode that I think is the worst piece of music to ever hit anything. They did an episode called "Jagged Little Tapestry," where they took Alanis Morissette and mixed it with human poop, and it was bad. The whole episode really fucking sucked. Everything about it. So I thought I'd mention that as well.
I don't remember a lot of season 6. I remember thinking, why? Also, how? Also, why again? And no.
And they took out all the people that you had spent any time with in the 5th season because they just sent them to different schools.
They were just like...
Which what really happened was they didn't think they were coming back for a season 6.
100%.
And then all the other people, especially old Supergirl in there, got more jobs.
She was the only character not in the finale because she got Supergirl. Mm-hmm. And she was like, this is way better than this show.
Yeah.
Screw this.
Yeah.
Probably
and she got Supergirl because the old boy on Flash.
Yep.
You know, they started cherry picking
Gustin's
everybody from
great.
they started cherry picking all the Glee cast members. But Karofsky, he didn't get anything.
Well, no offense to Karofsky, but he doesn't look like a CW model.
He also
There's
doesn't
there's
act like an actor.
Also,
He's so bad. I wanted to mention him. There's a couple of actors in here that are like so good, like that are like way too good for the show. Like I think Darren Criss is a great actor.
Yeah.
he's a great actor.
And the girl who plays Becky Jackson is fucking amazing.
Grace Potter.
Yeah.
She's great.
But then you get people like who played Karofsky or the guy who played Joe. Joe wasn't good.
Samuel Larson, right?
Damn, you're really good at this.
Because he won. Did he win Glee Project or was he like second place?
Didn't
or
watch
something?
Glee Project. I know he was on it.
I quite like Glee Project. It's
I didn't
good.
watch it. I wish I
But-
would have.
but the problem
I got
with Glee
into Glee
Project-
10 years after.
Yeah. The issue with Glee Project is that it had prerequisites that in turn made every single kid who got on the show an insanely talented, unbelievably gorgeous person, which is not how high school works.
Allegedly.
I'm just saying that when the ugliest new character is Kitty, you know what I mean? Like,
Can't relate.
it just doesn't make any sense because she's still like an attractive blonde lady. None of them came in looking like Corey Monteith or, you know what I mean?
With
Like
his
that was
soft,
not to call them
shitty body.
not to call the characters frumpy, but there was just a believability about the first set of cast members.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Everybody was talented. Every person they ever cast on the show was really talented.
Yeah.
That's kind of a prerequisite, you know. They're not gonna. I mean, even Zeiss was talented at being awful at singing.
Yeah.
Like, and she was hilarious and a great character actor. But then
I
you
like
get the
when
people
she's saying, I know what boys want.
I know them. Hi.
But then you get, you know, people like the guy who plays Karofsky or what's his face.
I love
God.
that you're just dogging on.
He's
Karofsky.
really fucking bad. If you watch it again, he is terrible. Who's I think his name was like Elias or something. The black guy who was always next to Karofsky. That actor's terrible. He's awful in it. He's not believable. He's not funny. He's shitty. It seemed like they didn't really care that much.
Yeah.
And there was one really untalented actress who could sing. It was the girl who was like the cheerleader that like came in, tried to steal Puck's brother from what's her face.
Oh my god.
She was a horrendous actress.
What is her name?
I don't remember because she's so bad I didn't care to remember. But she was a good singer.
Are you talking about with the second set of kids?
She was almost like even after that. Like she came in the season after and was like a cheerleader and was like a shithead and got what's his face to fuck her and then
Bree.
There you go.
Bree. She was like, look at the way her body jiggles, and gave that one girl bulimia.
Oh. Ooh.
I thought Kitty did that where she kept sewing her clothes.
She also gave her bulimia.
Can we talk about how the character who had bulimia was the most attractive girl to ever like walk across the show?
The most attracted, probably one of the most successful characters to come out of that show. Most talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, let's make her, because her mom was fat, let's make her bulimic, which is a horrible message.
Melissa Benoist.
Yeah.
That's her name. God bless you.
Did I sneeze?
You're beautiful.
Oh no. One of my absolute favorite song from the show, though, I'm still on that, is one that I can't listen to without fucking crying.
Is it Papa, Can You Hear Me?
Yes. No, it's
No, it's Shout.
It's Jump when they're on the mattresses.
Yeah. You got me there. No, it's
She's Having My Baby.
God. But it's We've Got Tonight when they sing that one and they're all in New York and everything.
Their last duet together.
Yeah, their last duet together, and it's when Quinn and Santana hook up.
That's the part makes you cry?
No. I was just gonna say, but no, it makes me cry because it was the last time Finn.
It was their
and
last night
Rachel,
together. Yeah,
and it was, and they really did just have it tonight. And
and then he went back to New York, beat up that one dude, and then disappeared.
yeah, but like it's so weird because it kind of like plays into like the Glee curse. Like they wrote such a good episode for it to be his final episode.
What wasn't his final episode?
It
was his
wasn't?
final duet with her.
Oh, well, his final interaction with Rachel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did a whole like part where he was in
college,
with Puck.
and then also he beat up Brody,
Yeah.
And yes, I remember.
and that was great. Stay
Yeah.
away from my future wife.
Stay away from.
But that was such a good like final moment with him and Rachel. Mm-hmm. I cry.
And they were like, he lost weight, and really he was on heroin, and that's why he was getting so thin. Harsh.
Yeah.
The show, that's really irresponsible and fucked up of Ryan Murphy to write in that you notice how thin he's getting, but instead of approaching him about it, just being like, let's say he's on Atkins. And then he's dead. Not long after.
I do like how the show in like season 1 and everything with like Finn's character kind of tackles like men with confidence issues.
Body issues.
Yeah,
and
and
shit.
body issues, because that I feel like doesn't get tackled ever in shows.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I think the show was already, they're worried about making it stigmatic. They don't want people to walk away because it tackles something that they find silly or gay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the show was already like that.
It's already a silly and gay show.
If you were a dude in high school, like if I was in high school watching Glee, I would get clowned on, even though it's not a bad show.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's why they could tackle issues like that, because like we already lost the morons who are going to be super judgy about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think that if it came out now, it'd actually be more successful.
Except it's so problematic. I don't know how it would survive.
I don't know.
the
It's like
climate.
that one show about that girl who like gets like her mouth wired shut and then loses a bunch of weight. People love that show, even though it's really problematic.
Oh,
Insatiable.
Yeah.
I love that show.
I love Debbie Ryan.
No, I
Can we
feel like
talk-
it's not as problematic as you think, and I want to cover that.
No, pause.
No, I want to cover that show.
Not for
at
real
one point.
pause, but come on. The concept of the show is insanely
yes,
problematic.
but you're saying that without watching the show and how they address
But that's
things.
not my point. I don't care if it's controversial. I'm saying people will watch controversial shows if they actually have merit. And
That's one show I really want to cover.
I believe Glee has merit.
Yeah.
That's a great show. I would like to cover that one.
Maybe Cody should just come on and just be permanent.
Guys, tell us in the comments if Cody should be a permanent
They're just
member.
like, I don't know. We don't like him. He's gay. Trust me,
Allegedly.
that's also name redacted. You'll never know his last name, bitches.
If only we knew how to go back and bleep.
When we
We just pull a Kill Bill, just bleep his name.
they're gonna find out his first name no matter what. It's all about that last name, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Baby.
Because in reality,
I'm
it's
baby.
It's not even really your first name.
CL baby.
CL baby.
It isn't. Wow, Cody. CL Blue, you are
Who?
really an enigma, aren't you?
By Lady Gaga. Thank you.
Americano by Lady Gaga.
That was also a song they did on Glee. And they did it with Dance Again by and they had... Was it Kate Hudson?
Yes.
Yeah. And they
Kate
had
Hudson being
sing.
anti-Semitic for a season. She's like David Schwimmer.
We haven't even talked about one of my favorite characters of the whole show.
Is it Sue?
April Rhodes.
April's one of your favorite characters? Is
Fuck
because
yeah,
you're
it
just
is.
as messy as she is?
Shut up.
I will say...
I love her.
Kristen Chenoweth as April Rhodes, and then Sue Sylvester. Those are the best two characters
Yeah.
on the show. I will say that.
I think Sue Sylvester is the best character
She
on the
is.
show.
Yeah.
And then the second best character on the show is probably Coach Beast, but it's fine.
Try living with hepatitis. That's hard.
I just love the dialogue of Coach Beast always. Just like the weird ass shit.
You're about to
she'd say.
cornhole screw loose of a butt fuck. I love that shit. And her character is always like very, like she's a mess. But, or he, actually, now, he's a mess.
Wow.
But, no, in the show.
Oh. God.
His character's trans in the
Yeah.
show. I don't believe
I forgot about
Which,
that.
by the way, felt a little shark jumpy to me.
felt super push.
Yeah.
It did.
And I
Because
was like,
also, like,
Okay.
And then they made it so obvious. He was like, do you have cancer? And it's like, that'd explain why your legs are hairier. Like, they literally are like, it's not cancer. It's like, we get it, you stupid fucks. We understand.
but
Is that why my legs are so hairy? I have cancer.
yes. I didn't like that they wrote that for her because that's not how they started
Him.
them. That's not how they started off the character.
No,
Like,
you're supposed to be like,
she wanted to feel feminine.
Yeah.
They kept saying
that's
that.
why I said it felt fucked up because the whole point was that she was feminine even though she wasn't like
Yeah.
super
100%.
feminine.
And it was really like an empowering character for that reason.
But
They went and fucked it up,
that's
which
why-
Glee
that's why
loves to do with its characters.
Yeah,
You
Beast
cut me
is my
off.
favorite part of the pilot.
Yeah, nice. No, Beast comes in the second season, but from
Yeah.
season 2 to the quarterback episode, she's a great character, and then after that, she's terrible.
Yeah.
That quarterback stuff with her and like Puck,
That episode's rough.
dude,
Because it's really good.
It's not just because a lot of times with this kind of episodes, it's emotional manipulation.
The
They
quarterback
don't emotionally
episode-
manipulate you;
They
they just
don't.
play it out.
Isn't the quarterback episode like the episode after
Season
Finn dies?
5.
Is that what you're
episode-
saying?
Episode
so
3.
Finn died in the off season. They did 2 Beatles episodes when they came back,
Yep.
and then they approached it. I guess they already had shot the Beatles episodes, and that's why they couldn't do it. Like they had already
Yeah.
set up a thing.
And they were also like, we're gonna give the cast time to like be on set without him before we like
Yeah,
go right in.
yeah. Still it's captured some real tears, you know.
Yeah, the quarterback's a great pilot episode.
Yeah, nice. No, but we could review the court. You know, let's not talk too much about it because maybe we might want to come back and
maybe-
review it.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, so I think we've exhausted.
Yeah.
We've definitely talked about everything besides the pilot. My point is the pilot's really great. It's probably one of the best TV pilots you're going to see because it's better than most of the show.
Oh yeah.
And that's not to really shit on it. I used to do Rocky Horror in high school. I love their Rocky Horror episode, but but the people I did Rocky Horror with hate that episode. So the show isn't as clean cut as this first pilot episode where you could watch it and objectively know that it was a really great pilot.
The pilot is basically a film.
Yeah,
You can watch
if-
that film and know what the show is.
Especially if you watch the episode 1 and 2 back to back, it really kind of feels like a movie.
100%.
Anyway, Franny, we're not going to rate it by numbers. Let's just say,
If we'd watch the show based on the pilot.
If
How many gold stars would you give it by Rachel Berry?
or we could rate it. How should we do this? We haven't talked about this at all. This is very unprofessional.
Oh.
Let's talk about it.
I think we should rate it based on if it makes us want to watch the show.
Okay, then I would say this one's a definite yes. If you like the pilot, or if you watch the pilot, you'll want to watch the rest of the show.
Yeah, same. I love this pilot. I love this show, regardless of the ups and downs that it takes you
You
on.
can stop watching after the quarterback. Just end the show there.
Yeah, end the show.
I
End the
mean-
show with ending like where they ended
You can stop
Finn's
watching
Either that-
season
storyline.
2,
Or
if
either-
I'm honest.
No, you could stop at the season 3 finale where he's running next to the train.
Yeah,
After that,
that's a great place
fine.
to
No,
stop.
I cried. I sobbed.
Except you are missing probably the best actors who come into season 4. However, the story isn't great.
Yeah, that dude, the kid who played Puck's brother and he did Prerogative, he was really talented.
Jacob Artist, yeah.
Yeah.
Really great. And wife beater. What's his name?
What?
What's his name? He was the one who, I mean, allegedly, he was the one who abused Melissa Benoist.
What? The
Yeah.
writer kid? I knew they got married, but he physically abused her?
Yep. And so there was like an allegedly. It's
Are you
not
hearing this?
confirmed.
I don't know who the
Do you
actors are.
Marley.
Okay, you remember Ryder?
He had
The kid with dyslexia?
Yep.
Yes.
He beat Melissa Benoist, apparently.
So they got married. And
I knew that.
From meeting on Glee? Or?
From meeting
Yeah.
on Glee.
Wow.
And so she like claimed she fell down the stairs, quote unquote. And then she
Aw.
like later came out and she's like, there were some like award shows where like I was lying about what happened and I actually had like an abusive ex. It's
That's
like, well,
so sad.
Yeah.
And then she got married, and I think Kevin Smith was at her wedding, her private wedding that she had recently.
Fuck yeah. Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in Kevin Smith's new movie, Jay and
Oh,
Silent Bob reboot. Yeah, she played Chronic.
Huh.
Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're good
Okay.
friends.
That's
Anyway,
awesome.
sorry. Yeah, I'm a Kevin Smith. I'm like labeled as the Kevin Smith fan of the internet, so I have to bring it up in every conversation apparently. Okay, so
Wait, Cody didn't read it.
he said he agreed with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'd say it's a great show. If you're going to like judge it based on watching, like wanting to watch the show, I'd agree. Is it a good portrayal of what the show is in the future?
No.
No.
Because everything about it is more produced in a good way. I feel like the pilot, you could like the pilot by itself and end up not liking the show because the pilot is really well produced. The music's awesome. I mean, they do fucking Flight of the Bees and Beethoven's Fifth all with a cappella. That's something that does not come up again.
I'd
Not
say the
even in the
pilot's-
acapellas episode.
Pilot's great. Pilot's great.
All right, cool. We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to jump in with Pokemon. Hello.
Welcome back.
Ow.
I was thinking about counting the 10 and then 10 seems really long, but 3 is like not long. Pregnant pauses.
Hysterical pause.
Hysterical pauses. We're here to talk about the wonderful world of Pokemon.
Pokemon. Catch 'em all.
Franny,
Yes.
I think it's interesting to hear your perspective because you seem like you give 2 hot shits about Pokemon.
So I didn't watch Pokemon as a kid really, but I do have a great story about Pokemon as a kid. So my best friend growing up was a dude, and I wasn't allowed to watch Pokemon and stuff, but he was super into it. And so we had a compromise. Whenever he'd come over to play, we'd play House, but with Pokemon.
So, like, he's the Charmander, you're the Bulbasaur?
We
or-
weren't Pokemon. We had Pokemons.
Okay, so instead of children, you had Pokemon.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we had this
I
little,
love
like,
how Cody's like, that sounds fun. I want to play.
right? We had this little like I had this little like Amish like playhouse thing in my yard, and we'd play it in there. I wasn't allowed to watch cartoons because they were for boys.
I don't have words for that. I really don't.
What about the Powerpuff Girls?
I wasn't really allowed to watch anything on Cartoon Network because that was for boys.
What were you allowed to watch?
Disney Channel, Hannah Montana,
Vegetable.
and sometimes SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is one of the most risque
I was
ones
like,
out
that's-
there.
I know. I don't know
Surprising.
how I got away with it, but I fucking did.
You probably fought for that one. Like, kids are like, SpongeBob's crack, dude. SpongeBob's so good. SpongeBob's still so good.
It's really good.
And he's a gay icon now.
Aren't we all?
But what if you had to guess, what Pokemon do you think would be Amish?
Mr. Mime.
I was about to say, I heard you say Amish, and
People
I
are
was
gonna think I came from like an Amish. No, we just had an Amish.
the way you're
house.
describing your life isn't really so much Amish, more Meta Knight.
Yeah.
You're like, I
You
wasn't
mean-
allowed to watch boy shows.
Meditate the Pokemon.
You mean Magnemite?
You mean Magnemite?
Why Magnemite?
Ooh.
No. So with Pokemon for me, obviously I was obsessed as a kid. I think most people around our age group was like super obsessed. Used to have my Game Boy Advance. I had my Quilava named Charlie.
That's cute.
I refused to evolve him into a Typhlosion because I thought Typhlosion looked stupid and Quilava was adorable.
Quilava's like low key, super adorable.
Yeah, and Cyndaquil's like annoying. I don't like that shit.
Same.
So I'm like, Quilava it is, since I accidentally didn't get Totodile.
I don't know what they
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have to enjoy Pokemon to get anything we're talking about right now. But I feel like most people know what Pokemon is in some regard because on Pokemon Go alone, people know what Pokemon are.
Yeah.
That was a great time. 2016, back when people would go outside and catch invisible, not real creatures.
What about all the people who died doing that?
We know somebody that literally travels travels the United States doing Pokemon and like goes to tournaments and shit.
He's got to catch them all.
She's got to catch them all.
I'm sorry. She's got to catch them all.
Yeah. She really does catch them all. I can't believe they still, but I can't believe they still like have like meetups and shit.
Yeah, that Pokemon Go. I am kind of shocked. It's still kind of a thing. I mean,
I think it's a thing to a certain group of people.
To old people.
It's really funny because one of my best friends still does it. It's someone that Logan and I used to work with. And
wow.
They're part of a Facebook group where they're like, okay, there's a raid. So we're all going to go to this centralized location. And it's usually like the middle of a graveyard or
That's what the other person we know does that.
And it's literally adults and their young children who are both playing, and then like old people.
Yeah, like old as shit people, yeah.
Old people. And you're just like, good for you, Karen. Like, you got this.
I just remember like back when it first came out, so here's the thing. I'm immensely poor. And I thought I thought I could be a part of it, but it turned out my iPhone was one generation too old.
Aww,
so I had to watch all these people.
We played it on my phone sometimes.
No, I did not play. Do you know why?
Why?
Because fuck any phone game where I have to buy a new fucking phone to play it. No. And there were people who had multiple phones for their Pokemon gone. I never got the fascination. There were so many people who got hurt playing because they weren't looking where they were going, got hit by a car or some crazy shit.
Like some girl like fell off a cliff in California because she was like, oh, it's Diglett.
She lived though, which is crazy.
Did she?
Yeah. She like hang off the side of a cliff until the firemen came.
That's insane.
Maybe they're married now. Though.
Another dude accidentally walked into a Swiss prison or like in Switzerland. He walked into a prison like playing.
Switzerland has prisons?
Yeah, I guess so. He walked through the front where the officers were. They didn't notice him. He walked all the way back to the barricades and walked into a cell. Nobody ever saw him until he was already in the cell trying to catch a Diglett or whatever the fuck it was.
Wow.
And then there was pedophiles using them to wrangle kids. They would set off a Pokespot or whatever the fuck or whatever they call it. And then they would wait for the children to come to them.
I just remember my local Kroger had a Pokespot at it, so I would just
It's
sit there
Pokestop, right?
I think it's.
It had a thing where you spin the little thing and you get points or whatever, and I just go there and spin it.
Like items, right?
I guess I don't fucking know.
I used to play. I don't remember.
Well, now they have this like Pokemon like bank you can use where you save up all the Pokemon from all your different games, and now they just opened it up to Pokemon Go players. Yeah. And I'm like, that's not fucking fair. Raising an Aerodactyl is a fuck of a lot harder than walking around and catching berries and shit. All right, you fucks. I grinded in that field for 3 hours. And you guys just get that level by walking around with it?
I always thought it was weird that like there was not a Pokemon like battle function with Pokemon Go.
There kind of was, but it was
There
bad.
is now.
Oh.
I know that because you'll see little kids like
well, now you can take all of your Pokemon Go.
like slapping their phones.
If you have a Switch, you can take all of them and put them into this Pokemon bank thing, and you have all of them.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really fucking something.
Yeah.
I use it because I have this one Blaziken from my Pokemon Ruby version. And we sat there and struggled at the 8th gym because I was one of those kids who was like, my starter is my life, dude, and I'm not going to train any other Pokemon.
Cody, let's stream and let's play a Nuzlocke.
I would love that.
Yes.
What game would we do?
What's the hardest game? Probably Ruby or Sapphire or Emerald. One of those three because they're the same game.
But can we play like Omega Ruby so I don't have to struggle with those graphics?
No, because once you can start getting anything in the 3DS realm of the games is easy as fuck. They've really turned into baby time. Not that I won't play it because I love them regardless, but they made them super easy, especially like Sun and Moon. Like you can pretty much walk through that game.
Gosh, that game. Don't even get me started.
Not a fan?
So the pilot.
Okay, anyway, let's talk about when Pokemon was kind of at its biggest. Now you can correct if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the game came before the show.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Everybody knows that. So the game was gigantic, pocket monsters. It blew up the fucking world. And then they try to capitalize on that by writing up a nice little anime with this character Ash, in which they ended up reusing it with Pokemon Yellow, which was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
technically, I think he's based on a manga,
mm-hmm.
and he's based off a character named Red. I think.
Yeah.
He's slightly based off Red, but they didn't.
Okay.
What they wanted to do was. A lot of the iconic images of Red was with his Pikachu that he happened to catch, even though the Pikachu was not a big part of the manga or the characters in the game.
Bulbasaur or
Charmander.
Charmander.
No, it's Charmander.
Yeah.
Red. And blue had Squirtle because they're red and blue.
Sense.
Yeah. Anyway.
I love colors.
So does Pokemon.
There actually is a Pokemon series out there. It's a short series, and it's about Red. And it's actually pretty good. I think it's Pokemon Origins or something like that.
Yeah, Pokemon Origins.
That's a great show, actually. If you haven't seen it, I think it's on Hulu. It was really fun. And then the pilot that we're talking about was also turned into a different movie called Pokemon. Is it I Choose You?
Yeah. Yes.
Which has Pikachu talk, and people are like, I hate this.
I loved that movie.
I thought it was good too.
Pikachu talked, and I was in tears, and I was just like, I love you too, buddy.
What do you think about the Mewtwo remake, Evolution?
I started watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I did not make it through.
Because you just wanted to watch the original.
Because nostalgia is the sweetest cover of life.
Yeah.
And it definitely like blankets that movie to make me think it's really good. And it is really good.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't want to watch it again with 3D models.
With 3D models and there's some great character designs that were, like a lot of the Pokemon themselves and the way they're drawn in 2D animation is a lot more impressive than they look in 3D.
Yeah.
Charmander looks a hell of a lot fucking more boring as a 3D model than he does as an animation. It didn't look that great. It's cool. If you don't have the original, it's free on Netflix, so it's like gives you a chance to watch the movie. It's exactly the same.
Yep.
And then I Choose You is just a longer version of the pilot, so.
Yep.
But the pilot, sticking strictly with that, it's a 10-year-old boy. Scary. Shouldn't be sending off 10-year-old boys into the world by themselves.
When I was in 4th grade, that was all I wanted. I was like, I'm going to get my Bulbasaur. I'm going to go out on an adventure.
I was a Bulbasaur guy, too.
Makes a lot of sense.
I like Bulbasaur the best.
Yeah, Bulbasaur is my favorite. We have a painting of Bulbasaur on our wall.
And he reminds me of our smushy-faced dog.
But why Pokemon's so cool, it's the first kind of show for kids where, maybe it's happened more since then. They've kind of like perfected it. But Pokemon was so cool, you didn't want the characters to be adults. It was cool if they were kids anyway. Like Dragon Ball Z is awesome for kids, but Goku has a kid. He's an adult, All of these superheroes, they're all adults. I mean, Peter Parker, I guess, is like a 16-year-old, but he's not a 10-year-old kid. And so when you're 10 years old and the character on the screen is you and he's accomplishing real adventures and doing real shit, it's really fucking cool. And you relate to the characters really well, and that's what made it so engaging for younger audiences. And then Pokemon is just so awesome that even as you get older, you're still obsessed because you're like, I love these concepts. Collecting little monsters is really interesting. It's like having a shit ton of pets that fight. Unlike, not Michael Vick style, but still cool. It's a lot of fun.
And I will say that's where Neopets got it wrong. Is because I feel like Neopets was like, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to focus on like this niche, like 20 like creatures.
Yeah.
And then Pokemon does it really well where they're like, we're always going to keep it interesting, where there's like...
And there's more. And
Exactly.
the reason why, even though some... Like, come on. We all know that if you look at Ghastly, it's not exactly as cool as fucking Dragonair. We get it. But the point is that people will connect randomly with one, and it'll be like they're special. Like, for me, I love Bulbasaur, but my all-time favorite Pokemon is Krabby. I can't tell you why. I just fucking love him. I love him so much. He's my favorite, and I'm always the one, like, you don't go to a crowd of fans and usually have the same thing unless you're, like, you're basic. It's like Charmander, but it's cool. You can find, like, that little pocket monster that's yours and kind of relate yourself to that, and we've played, like, role-playing games, like D&D kind of style things where we played Pokemon Masters, and my favorite NPC that fought you, because I was the Dungeon Master, essentially, that fought you guys was the guy with the Kingler, you know, because that's me. I was introing myself into that character.
Yeah. That is cool.
That was a fun time.
Like Franny said her favorite was Litwick for a while.
Yeah, I really like him.
Little ghost candle boy.
Yeah.
I quite like Corsola
Corsola's adorable.
and Swinub. I'd say those are like my top
Swinub,
two.
that's a weird one.
I mean,
She likes Snubble a lot.
Snubble's cool.
Snubble's, you remember who Snubble is? The little dog, like the little, like...
Well, did you like Snubble or Gramble?
She likes Snubble.
Whoa, these questions. Let me do some Googling.
Snubble's the pink little doggy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she liked the pink little doggy.
Little pink bulldog.
Yeah. It's a pink bulldog with like a dress.
And in the, I think, was it the live action movie? He's like a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really great.
Oh, yeah. I do
Which,
like
by the way,
that one.
I think you should guest on Crosscut sometime, and we'll just review Detective Pikachu.
Oh, yes.
Because for those of you who don't know, his niche, I wouldn't say his niche, but one of his big things that he's super into is Pokemon. When you go over to his house, it's just covered in plushes of Pokemon everywhere.
Hundreds.
Hundreds. He liked Lit Leo. He said he likes Lit Leo.
Yeah, it's cute.
What? It's just a lion with a goofy ass face, you know?
So is Lion King.
Did you find what we're talking about?
Yeah. Snubble?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Snubble.
You said you like Snubble a lot.
Yeah.
When we were playing Pokemon, that's the one you caught. Also, to get off the pilot once again, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is not that great of a game, but there is a fun element where you can play with your significant other and catch Pokemon together.
Yeah, it's cool.
Franny won't do it with me, but
we do.
You and I could do it together.
Yep.
Forget
Oh, that
Franny.
should be one of our Nuzlocks.
Wow.
We'll Nuzlock that and play together on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yes. That sounds good. That's what we're going to do.
I love teamwork.
Anyway, so Ash Ketchum's a 10-year-old. And tomorrow is his big day where which, by the way, very confusing. So the pilot doesn't explain this very well. Is the next day his birthday?
So,
Or do all of them have the same 10th birthday? Or do they have a special time of year where the 10-year-olds go gather up and grab
Yeah,
a
it doesn't
Pokemon?
really.
I don't know why, but the day April 26th is like in my brain, and I think it's like a school year. Like, oh, if you're born before this certain day, you all are in the same grade. And I think that's the way
that
it
makes
works.
sense.
And I
Because
wanna
like
say they
Gary
cut
looks
off
a
in
hell of a
Japan
lot
or
old.
something
Gary
like
looks like
that.
he's slamming bitches. Gary looks like he's like, I'm taking your sister to prom. Yeah, smell my finger. Like that's what Gary comes off to me as.
He's definitely an 11-year-old.
Whoa.
But like by the way, they're so not drawn to be like you as a 10-year-old don't realize, but that's not what you look like. You don't look
No.
like a full-grown adult with cheerleaders, and you're not driving a car. But at 10, you're like, that's me. I'm him.
I'm Gary.
I had the biggest crush on Misty when I was 10. I thought she was fire.
I thought she was insufferable.
The
Well.
character, why?
I have
She's
a
introduced for
vengeance
five.
against-
She's introduced for 5 seconds in the show, so we're not straying that far from the pilot. Just saying.
Agreed. She's there. I think what bothered me the most is that she is like, okay, I think I have a vengeance against redheads. I don't know why. B, her whole entire like shtick for the beginning of the show is, oh my god, you owe me a bike, and then she's like, oh, but you're kind of cute though, like,
Yeah.
kind of cute, like, okay,
Fuck me on my new bike.
Oh no.
but that you're never gonna give me, okay, cool.
Well, didn't they actually hook up though? Not like fucked. Obviously they didn't fuck. He's 10 years old for like the next 20 years.
She sings a song in a musical that confirms her feelings. I think that's as close as we get.
One day they'll have like that wrap up episode like Glee where they both go around playing piano at schools.
I think it's called Misty's Song. And I remember listening to that song and being like, oof, she's got it real.
But you got it bad. But no, his thing is he's always traveling with what I would assume to be a cuck and a beautiful woman. That's the path. He travels with a cuck who always wants to do something artistic or different than what his life was betrayed for him.
Is that the one guy?
Brock or Tracy or any of them?
Silent, Clement.
Regardless, he's always with a guy who's like, at first, way more talented than him for one episode. And then after that, he's a fucking cuck the rest of the show.
Yep.
And then he's always got this beautiful girl who he ignores, and he pisses off the whole time, and she wants to fuck him. Every season, it's like that, and it's different kids with Ash, who never ages. Or he's actually 20 and he's really creepy and he's hanging out with a bunch of 10-year-olds.
I love that.
He's 10. They started it out, I think, in Gen 5, whatever that anime was. They were like, 10-year-old Ash Ketchum. And you're like, I've wasted all this time? What is happening? And then
you just want to see him go to the prom and like fuck a girl and shit, but he's never going to.
Even if it's Misty, make your move. Come on.
I think they're doing that. Maybe Pokemon lives are like animal lives. And they're like, if we had kept them the same age this whole time, Pikachu'd be dead by old age by now. Pikachu would have a bum leg. Pikachu would just throw up in the corner whenever it ate dry food.
He'd be in Lavender Town for sure.
Okay.
I like that Franny's just like glazed off into a corner. She's like,
Franny, do you know about Lavender Town?
I know about Lavender Town.
What do you know about it?
I know. Isn't that the one that like the music killed people or some shit?
Did not kill people. No. It gave some kids, presumably with autism, headaches.
Yeah.
And that's not a joke either. That's very legitimately what happened.
So did the Porygon episode.
No, that gave kids with seizures.
Oh, yeah. Small.
Yeah. Definitely different than feeling a little sick. Is a shaky.
Yeah.
That I've had a couple of shakies. It's not the same thing. I woke up punching a male nurse begging me to stop hitting him. It's true.
I know. I remember that.
You're like, now I'm not a nurse anymore.
I remember being in the hospital and being like, this is concerning.
You were my most calm friend too. Like my brother's like freaking out. Zane's like, oh my God. And you're just like, so like, what do they feed you in here?
Did you like your pudding cup?
Yeah, you're like trying to be like so relaxed, especially in front of Franny. You're like, oh my God, wow. Like, are you gonna keep your hair like that? Like, just trying to make it not a big deal.
It wasn't. You're fine.
Meanwhile, my obituary was underneath my pillow. She gave me an obituary to write because she thought I was gonna be dead by the next day. So I had an obituary written out filled with jokes because I'm that much of an asshole.
Wow.
I want you to read that on the podcast.
I was thinking about reading it at me and Franny's wedding, but I don't know if that might bring the room down too much.
A little bit.
Oh, I've never heard it. I don't know. I kind of want to hear it, though. I kind of want to hear it.
I don't know.
Maybe like on a Sunday.
Might be a bore.
No, I'm sure it's not a bore.
A day that we don't have a lot going on.
Can you do it like when I'm bored?
When I don't want to watch the Glee pilot.
When we're on another long car ride, like we don't have anything to do on those. Maybe I'll get a chuckle.
You just don't mention me the whole time, and like the last line is like, oh yeah, tell Franny I'll miss her.
Yeah, tell Franny it was good hitting that.
It was good.
Let Franny know that I don't totally hate her. Anyway.
What do you think would be in Pikachu's obituary?
Pikachu.
Oh my gosh, I was thinking the same exact thing.
Or something along the lines like, these motherfuckers trying to... No, but seriously though, there's something so hood about original Pikachu. For one, he's a fat bastard. And he's kind of coming off like Biggie the whole time. Where like...
He changed when he got thin.
Yeah, he changed.
He changed.
When he dropped the weight, dude. Well, he's like Corey. One day they're gonna wake up and have a quarterback episode for Pikachu.
He's just.
It doesn't matter how Pikachu died.
He's just addicted.
I just want to talk about his life.
Oh God.
No, that is something to talk about. That was the instant change of Pikachu's demeanor.
Really?
Don't you think it's kind of odd that? Really, what is that? What kind of question is that?
I'm just like, how much did it change? I don't.
Well,
I never really watched the show.
Well, we just watched the first episode, and Pikachu was mean to Ash. Does that ever happen anywhere else?
Oh no, it doesn't.
And then Pikachu's like, oh my gosh, you saved my life from a bunch of birds.
Even though he didn't.
Woo woo.
He didn't say. Pikachu saved Ash's life from a bunch of birds.
100%.
Wow, so
And
that's
didn't
really
catch any of them.
And then they saw a rainbow bird.
They saw
fly
Ho-Oh,
over.
baby.
that's really supposed to be like the turning point in like their friendship.
No.
that bird
The
scene?
turning point is when they go. It's actually in the next episode. The pilot kind of works in 2 episodes.
Yeah, it really
Because then they
does.
introduce Team Rocket as well. They go to a Pokemon's hospital, and then Pikachu's like gonna die pretty much, and then he doesn't die, and then him and Ash are like, "I'm sorry, thank you for making sure I don't die," and then Pikachu goes, "Thanks for making sure I don't die," and then they became buddies.
That's the conversation.
And Misty's like, dude, where's my bike?
Yeah, dude, where's my bike? And then she never gets another bike from him,
Never
does
gets
she?
a bike.
Wow.
But she does get the time of her life.
That
And
is a
isn't
fun
more
introduction to a character, though. Even if you find her annoying,
Yeah.
the fact that she's stuck along just because he like stole her bike, that's a fun little romp time. The Brock episode where they introduce Brock is the weirdest episode of all
What
time.
happens?
He's really serious. Like pretty much like what I would assume, like if you had talked to the dudes before they stormed Columbine, like he was so insanely over the top serious. And then in the next scene, you see him wearing a headband and doing dishes and talking to his little brother. And it just doesn't match up. And then for no reason at all, he's like, I'm coming with you. And we're going to be best friends forever. And I will abandon you at times and then magically show back up.
Really?
And the
Yeah.
whole plot line is like, I have to go. Like, I need to go take care of my gym. And he's gone for 2 episodes and comes back. He's like, everything's fine. My dad's there. and Ash is like, so this is the deadbeat that left you? There's like a whole episode where I guess his parents both left, right?
Yeah, and he's taking care of
8 kids who
8
look just
kids.
like him.
exactly
Wow.
the same.
And then he just leaves all those 8 kids and goes and
Yeah.
follows Ash.
Yeah. I know. And then on top of that, you know, okay, he's supposed to be this really smart Pokemon trainer, right? Okay, he goes from only using rock type to being like, I like that Vulpix. Let me change my entire way I battle and do everything. Because
I
that
would too.
Vulpix is cute as fuck.
Did they
I
name
would
him
too.
Brock because he likes rocks?
Yes.
Yes. And Misty because she's a water type trainer.
Yeah, and Mist.
Wow.
Lieutenant Surge is
Because
the
it's
third
electric.
gym leader.
Wow.
Erica, that doesn't make sense.
I would say Erica because,
Erica.
yeah, totally works. Because she only fights with Erics. No, because she's very patriotic. Erica.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Anyway, what was your like? I guess say your fondest memory with not only the anime, but also what's your fondest memory with the game? Like, what's your best moment in the games?
The most memorable things that come to mind are when it's like the day of, we're going to Toys R Us in the morning.
Fuck yeah!
I
dude.
counted out the quarters and literally paid the cashier in quarters.
Hell
and I
yeah,
felt
you
did.
so
Aw.
bad for her, but I was like, I'm getting
Wait,
Pokemon
how old
Leaf
were you?
Green.
Oh, Leaf Green. Okay.
So this
I think
was
you're
like,
that was Sun and Moon.
I was like 4th grade. Yeah, so- no.
Yeah, because a lot of people, like just the generation above us, played Red and Blue, but we played Leaf Green and Fire Red for our first introduction like that.
No.
Oh, you played?
I
Blue
played
and
Red and Blue.
I never went and bought it. Is what I'm saying. It was
And-
it was already in my household.
Yeah,
from my
so
brother.
My brother was the one who did Red and Blue.
Yeah,
and the
same with
first
mine.
game I ever bought myself was Ruby and Sapphire. And we also went to a Toys R Us, and I had that little $5 pre-order card that meant I get $5 off because
Yep.
I already paid, but it's an illusion. And got the games, and my mom made me give my brother one of them so that we could play together. I got Ruby, he got Sapphire because he's a little bitch and wanted Blue.
Yep.
And then
Oh.
Ciel Blue is my whole thing.
No.
And basically, he lasted Route 2.
That's like right at the,
That's the beginning.
yeah, it's like at the beginning.
I was
Wow.
like, why did you make me give me the game when, like, why? He
Did
still
you still
has
get to
it.
use it? Oh, you never got to play it?
I never got to play Sapphire because of him. And it has Kyogre, and Kyogre is my favorite.
Wow, this is really sad. Actually,
This is why me and my brother have a distant relationship.
this is why I don't talk to him anymore.
This is why we don't talk. And I'm not friends with him on Facebook.
So did you end up doing Omega Sapphire? or whatever it's called, Alpha Sapphire.
Did I?
Did you still go with Ruby after all that?
Well, I think by that time I had the emotional attachment to Ruby that I was like, I've played Ruby with my Blaziken. We're going to do it again.
Yeah, come on, Blazy. Let's do it. No, I know exactly how you feel. I cannot do a yellow playthrough without getting a Mankey. It's important to me because he fucking knocks out that first gym like with his karate chop, dude. He karate chops the fuck out of Brock.
I always remember grinding in Viridian Forest before because you'd have to get Charmander to learn Metal Claw.
Yeah, otherwise he's fucked.
Literally.
Because like, what is he gonna do? That's why the best Pokemon to choose at the beginning of the game, ironically enough, is Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur rocks those first two gyms.
And then even the third, he's like, it evens.
Yeah. Yeah, and also he's so beefy by that point because he just knocked out two gyms by himself.
Yep.
Although I would always make sure he never evolved because his evolutions are just not.
He's definitely the looker of the family.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Do you remember in the show where his bulb was like lighting up and like he's about to come the whole time? Do you remember that episode? Bulbasaur's gonna come any day now.
I don't think I remember it the same way. But I do remember and it was the same thing with Pikachu. They were like, oh, his cheeks. Something's happening with his cheeks.
Yeah, essentially his Pokemon always wanted to come and Ash was like, no. Ash was like that youth group
You
leader.
don't deserve it.
Yeah. Ash was that guy at youth group is like, the Lord does not. Except for with Charmander, who got to blow his load constantly. He literally evolved twice before Squirtle did shit. Like, poor little Squirtle.
But Squirtle got those cool sunglasses. And I think that's the highlight of the series.
I remember when they had the game where the Pokemon made the noises. And the meme went around where it was like, Squirtle. And it was like a normal one. And it wasn't like Squirtle, which they wanted.
I do like his Squirtle.
The Squirtle squates. He's the best by far. But you're just like listening like, Charmander. Like, oh, that's right. It's Bulbasaur and all that shit. And then it gets to Squirtle. It's like, Squirtle. And you're like, who the fuck is that? Sounds like Carrot Top. What the fuck? It's not Squirtle.
He definitely was on testosterone.
Yeah, you know Squirtle chain smokes. He's got Marble Reds and she's like, Squirtle.
That's what started the fire. That's how he joined the Squirtle Squad.
I like how before they were just gangsters and they reformed into firefighters. That's what Kamala Harris did to the state of California. Oh, prisoners, you can be firefighters and make 20 cents an hour. Go do it. Have fun. That's what the Squirtle Squad, they should have called themselves the Squirtle Squad. Anyway.
I gotta go.
Okay, but then the show's really great because it follows along kind of what Yellow does, where every single time he goes from, like, he didn't get the biggest starter, but by the end he has all three starters and Pikachu. Like, what bullshit, but it was still cool how like every episode would kind of highlight on a new Pokemon he was getting. And like the Charmander one where like the trainer like neglected him.
Yeah. They
better one day give us Charizard fighting that guy's new Charizard whooping his ass. That episode needs to happen.
Do we ever see him again? Because I feel like he's a trainer you do see again.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe.
I don't remember if it's just something I saw, but I feel like he was one of the people that Ash fought in the Kanto League, but I could be wildly wrong.
I don't know. I just remember there's a guy who was super into shorts.
Ooh, knickerbockers?
There's a character in the show, friend. You haven't seen it that much.
No,
there's a character in the show whose identity is, I wear shorts.
And he has a mud kit.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? Or is it a zigzag? I don't remember. But literally his whole thing is knickerbockers and their shorts.
That's really something.
What do you think about Sabrina in the show, since we're like already going off the rails? What do you think about the Sabrina character? Because I think she's your aesthetic. Whenever I see Sabrina, I think of you.
I feel personally attacked. Do you know who I relate to a lot? Sabrina.
Yeah, exactly. Like the weird psychic ghost girl with the weird ass fucking has this weird aesthetic where like she's like, let's play, and like throws fucking psychic Pokemon at people. And her only friend is a doofus ghost Pokemon who makes like dumb faces. Like, I'm the haunter to your Sabrina.
I love it. I don't even know the characters.
We should watch the episode after this just so you understand.
Yeah,
right.
It's basically a girl in a Lolita dress who's like, I'm into dark things.
Yeah, it's essentially a haunted girl Pokemon trainer, Pokemon gym leader.
She's Annabelle.
Yeah, she's Annabelle.
I don't want to say I'm Annabelle though.
But she's like edgy Annabelle. She's like Annabelle if she listened to
Annabelle
Alanis.
get edgier?
She's like if Annabelle listened to Alanis Morissette or like Lady Gaga.
She's like Annabelle just really loved the Taylor Swift Fearless album. And she's like, cool. I believe in fairy tales. Let's get the image of Franny drawing heart balloons on a notebook.
She always draws during the podcast. People think she's asleep, and half the time she is, but other times she's drawing.
I like to doodle.
She likes to
Helps
sleep
me
too.
focus. I'm not sleeping or overly doodling. I just don't know Pokemon.
But you watched the pilot, so what do you have to say about the pilot?
I watched the pilot.
All right, fine. When she played X, she got old frog boy. What's his name again?
Froakie.
And she named him Pepe.
That's cute.
I do like him. Yeah,
like
And then she
that
gave
was before Pepe became like an
an alt-right figure. Yeah.
fucking figure.
There's a documentary about that, by the way. It's gonna be really good.
But I don't
She
don't
also
know.
caught a Rylu and named him Weird Dog.
Yeah. What did I name Fetus? I remember.
Oh,
I named
you
something
caught
Fetus.
oh fuck, what was it? I think it was a Blossom and you named it Fetus.
Okay.
No, Dunsparce.
Dunsparce. That makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense. It does look like a fetus.
Yeah, she went Fetus and then she caught a Lit Leo and named it Go Fuck Fuck Yourself. And she spelled it in a way the game didn't stop you, and when she throw it out, it'd be like, Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm very excited to see what your children are going to be named.
Get ready. I just feel like I don't have too much to say about it. I don't have that nostalgia thing that you guys have with Pokemon. So I feel like that's a lot of what makes Pokemon so good is the nostalgia from watching it when you were younger. I didn't.
No, I actually disagree. I think Pokemon really does stand
You think
on
it
its
stands
own.
on its own?
I think the sad part for me is I'm still like, this is my life.
Oh, you're
And
cute.
It's not even nostalgia. It's just like, I just want to go out in the world and
Yeah.
I want to make a difference with my best friends.
Yeah,
I
we
love
need
it.
to play the RPG more. That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
But
We can do that
I
as a
think
podcast.
I
That
think
would
it
be
is.
great.
I think it is a cute show, especially like the first episode. I think it's really like fun, and I could totally see like little kids loving it and everything. Makes you want to watch the rest of the show. It makes you want to see what happens. Drags you in.
All right.
I like the world they create too. Like I like the whole colors thing, like Pallet Town, and
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. I like how it's a kid show that doesn't shove lessons down your throat.
Yeah. That's the thing is the lessons are like almost. Sometimes you're like, wow, should it be that way? Like they
Yeah.
have bad
Yeah.
lessons sometimes.
Yeah. I like that because I feel like a lot of times with
But
kids
it
shows,
does
it just
harp on
kind of
friendship though.
Yeah.
Friendship's important.
which that's a fine lesson, and I like that being the overall meaning of the show being friendship. But I feel like a lot of times with shows made for kids, they kind of like treat them like they're stupid almost and don't feel the need to like actually have plots and actually have characters. And I feel like Pokemon did a good job of not treating its audience like it's kids, even though it is kids.
Yeah, it's so well written. You get the personalities of the
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Exactly.
Like Brock's Vulpix is like totally like an uppity bitch.
Yeah.
Same.
And Bulbasaur is like a man's man.
Yeah.
You know, Squirtle's a fucking street thug. Charmander's a puss.
Pikachu's a thug.
Pikachu is a reformed addict. But he's still weird, you know? He's still like got like isolation anxiety. He can't go in his Pokeball and shit.
Yeah. Ooh.
They used to put him in like Pikachu fights, like Michael Vick and shit in the back alley.
Oh.
Which is ironic because in the Detective Pikachu, there's a fight ring.
Yes.
Oof.
Detective Pikachu was a lot of fun too. Franny hasn't even seen it.
I have not.
Definitely something we'll have to do.
Yeah.
I think we
The
have
ending
it.
is we have it on 4K. Not even Blu-ray. We haven't
You're
super Blu-ray.
just gonna flex like that.
Listen, my home movie system is fantastic. If anybody ever wants to come over and hang out and you know who I am, text me and maybe I'll let you come over.
And wear a mask. You filthy.
You nasty.
I can't wait for the mask Pokemon.
Oh God.
Gen 9, here we go.
Oh my god, you might be right.
Oh,
I know.
no, hold on. I got one more fucking thing to say. I like the rap that they do at the end.
The Poke Rap.
The Poke Rap's iconic.
Let's get it on my burn. I went across the land, far and wide.
How long do you think that copyright lasts? Do they continue to pay for it, or are they just like 50 years we're done
Of what?
of the Pokemon rap?
Who's paying who?
Well, the way copyright works.
They own it in house though. Warner Brothers owns all of it,
Yeah.
so they don't really give a shit. I'm sure. And you know what's weird? Warner Brothers owns the film rights, even of the animated ones, but the TV show is like they can't like land rights on that, even though it's played on mainly Warner things. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. It was on WB Kids forever.
And Cartoon Network too.
Yep.
And then now it's like
Now it's Netflix, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But Netflix isn't owned by Warner. It's really weird. I wonder how that's going to turn out and shake out because they want to do a live action series, and I wonder where that even go.
I'd watch it. I mean, I enjoyed Detective Pikachu, so I'm very curious what they would do with like this is Ash Ketchum and we're doing a show.
I hope they wouldn't use Ash.
I mean, same, but
I hope they just use a female protagonist. Like let's get an interesting perspective. I'm not just saying that to be woke either. I really wonder if they could find like an interesting girl to like have her first Pokemon and it be something like totally opposite. Like her first Pokemon's like a fucking what's a crazy weird Pokemon to run a show under? What's something that would be like really a risk? A girder. She has a girder that she travels with.
I don't know why I was like Dugong.
Dugong would not be that crazy. That'd be kind of cute. But then he'd have to like flop around.
Exactly. That's why I was like,
Spiel.
You're gonna pay for the CGI to have a Dugong just flap around the whole entire time.
Or like a Torchic would be adorable. Little 1 foot Torchic. Anyway,
They kind of did it, right?
Live action, kind of, yeah.
Well, not, I don't remember.
It's hard to remember everything they did. The Bulbasaur had a special moment in that movie.
Definitely.
But
There was,
let's
like,
go ahead and
Bulbasaur
say, Franny, you're the real taker.
Yeah.
Just based on the pilot, would you want to continue right now?
Yeah, I think I would. It's fun.
What's a negative you have to say about it? Because we're so glassy eyed over it. Like we love everything heart shaped glasses for it.
I just like some of like like we said with like the I feel like it's unclear at times what's happening.
Did I say that?
No,
what do you mean?
Like with why they're all together at the same time to go get the Pokemon and everything. I feel like it's a little like unclear at times, but like not so unclear that like you don't want to keep watching the show. You know what I'm saying? You guys literally said this before.
No, it wasn't. It was unclear.
Don't...
It said it was really ridiculous. Why? But it's clear why.
Okay, maybe I just didn't catch it.
I think the really bad part of the show,
yeah,
is inconsistencies within the world. For instance,
really?
there's a mongoose in an episode. There's a bird in
well,
another
I'm
one.
going off of just the pilot.
Okay, there were butterflies in the pilot that weren't Butterfrees.
Oh, I do like how in the pilot they kind of have like that montage of different things, like when they show like the Mankeys and shit like that.
Yeah, they had to really let you know like there's other shit that exists.
Yeah.
That's why that TV fight intro is actually really great.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's great.
I liked the whole intro. I liked I liked it. I thought it was fun.
What do you think about the character of Ash Ketchum?
I mean, he's okay.
He's infamous. He's very infamous for being like the most annoying character.
Yeah, he's just kind of like boring. Like he's not I feel like he's not the best part of the show by any means. Mm-hmm. I like Pikachu.
I'd like a more mature character.
Yeah,
same. I'd say that's my biggest gripe about the series.
He has Goku syndrome bad and only.
Yeah,
it's always a character who's stupid and hungry, but the best. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the character model. He even has the Goku
shonen
hair.
Jump.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Naruto, Goku,
literally,
Luffy, all of them.
Literally.
There is Goku. He has interesting enough characters around him already in his inner circle when that comes to pass. And it actually explains why he's stupid. He grew up in the fucking woods. Ash grew up in a house with people in it, and somehow he still doesn't know how people work.
Yeah,
that's
really something.
And you know Oak is fucking his mom, dude.
Oh,
they
yeah.
are fucking.
I love that.
Apparently so is Mr. Mime.
Mr. Mime's in on it, dude.
Yep. He knows. He's seen things.
He can build a box and he can punch one too. Okay, anyway, I think that's enough from us. Cody, otherwise known as CL Blue, because we can't stop ours. Franny did it
Allegedly.
once and fucked me. I couldn't do it anymore. But you'll never know his last name. Is there anything you want to plug? You lift off your Instagram and all that stuff and all that good stuff.
Everything on social media is at CL Blue Official, and then I have an EP out. It's called Temple, and you could go on any streaming platform you like and listen to it.
We'll leave the links in the description.
And you should. It's really fucking good.
It's actually quite
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
I like
you.
it a lot.
It's okay.
But yeah, and then also you can check out me and Franny on Crosscut Cinema on here, wherever. Basically, I'm sure if you're listening to this, you already know who we are. But if not, you can listen to our other podcast on youtube.com/Crosscut Cinema. You can check us out on Crosscut Cinema Pod on Instagram.
Yeah, Crosscut Cinema Pod on Instagram, Crosscut Cinema on Twitter.
Yep. And then
We have a Facebook page too, just Crosscut Cinema.
And if you want to reach out to us about anything, you can use crosscutcinemapod@gmail.com.
Yep. And do it. These guys are amazing, and their stuff's really great. And so I want you guys to leave a comment. Would you travel with these two on a Pokemon journey? That's what I want to know.
Well, can I be your Brock?
Is Logie your Brock and Franny your Misty? That's all I need to know.
All right,
I
love
love
y'all.
it. Thank you.